are now listening to Lower Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Ha. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lower Road Radio.
Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lower Road Radio.
Let's get it.
What?
At Tanagra when the walls fell. This is Dan Owens coming at you another time for Lower Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. How you doing today?
I am loving this cold weather.
I do love the cold weather. It's brisk outside.
Yeah. Wake up in the morning, upper 40s, lower 50s.
Yep. I sleep with the window open is what I do. So I wake up and I can see my breath. I like that.
It also allows for more of a cold, like stuffiness, though.
Yeah. I'll take the trade. You know, if I got to wake up with a bit of a sore throat and stuffiness.
I'm telling you, it makes everything more pleasant. It makes sleeping more pleasant.
It does.
It makes the morning coffee more pleasant. Mm-hmm. It makes, taking a hot shower more pleasant.
I feel like
to me, the cold weather is
I feel like I have better dreams.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm not making this up. This sounds crazy. I'm not making this up. 2 nights ago, I had a dream that Bob Costas and I tag-teamed, arm wrestled the women's arm wrestling world champion.
Who won?
She won.
So you and Bob's on one side.
Yeah.
And she's on the other side. And
I was upset because Lynn Swann was right beside Bob Costas. And I was like, you're an athlete. You could help us out here. But he just laughed at us the whole time.
Are you for real?
That's 100% true. Bob Costas, he's frail. You know what I mean? He's older.
He's up there in age, right? I mean, he's been around forever.
He's been around for quite a while, yeah, and not a good arm wrestler, and neither am I, apparently.
Well, Lynn Swann.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's the women's world champion.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's just not just some random
Who would win,
woman.
the women's world champion or Lynn Swann?
Today?
Yeah.
The women's world champion. Lynn Swann, like 80.
He's a professional athlete.
Yeah, I don't care. The women's, she's in her prime. She's going to win. And plus, there's an art to arm wrestling. It's not just pure strength. That's a big part of it, but there's also technique involved. So.
Okay, the current women's champion or Sylvester Stallone, who's 80?
Oh, well, that's a good question because he's ripped still.
He is ripped. Have you seen him recently? Boy, he is not aging well.
Well, they rarely do.
Lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Steroids. What are you Googling right now?
I'm Googling women's arm wrestling champion. To see if I can get a...
How did you watch something on this?
Nope.
Or it just randomly...
I don't know. Yeah, these women look buff.
Here, let me see. Turn around.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you think Bob Costas and I are beating that chick?
No. Is that a chick?
I think so.
She has long hair.
Yeah. Yeah, these are tough women. No, there's no way Bob and I are beating these people. So... But it was a great dream. I loved it. It was an awesome dream. So,
was it for money? Was it pride?
It was pride. There were a lot of people there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Was it televised?
It seemed so.
Yeah.
It seemed as it was. But
when you and I were teenagers,
I also might have been naked. I don't know. I usually am in my dreams.
I have that about once a week. So I have a recurring dream that this doesn't apply to anything other than we're just talking about dreams. I get to school, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Sure. Yeah.
I show up, and I don't know my schedule. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out if it's Tuesday or Wednesday.
I've had that dream.
Because Tuesdays and Thursdays I have one class. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays I have a different class.
Mine, that's happened to me before, but I also had the dream where I'm on my way to, usually it's algebra, and I don't have my homework done. I haven't even started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That one happens.
Well, that would also happen in real life.
Well, yeah, I never did. Couldn't understand it, didn't want to do it.
Seems like algebra to me.
Was not good at math. Well, there you go. All right, Jason. Every week we got 3 things. We call it the 3 and 3 segment of the show.
Is there a pre-3?
Pre-3?
That's what we just did.
Yeah, that's the pre-3.
Okay.
Me and Bob Costas arm wrestling the women's world champion while Lynn Swann's laughing, and I might be naked. Maybe that's why Bob wasn't getting close to me.
Was Bob also naked?
Definitely not. He was wearing a suit and a red tie. I'm 100% sure about that.
Okay.
It was also the young Bob Costas.
Okay.
You know, it was the
Yeah.
Bob Costas that you know from the baseball documentaries.
Yes.
It was that Bob Costas.
Early 90s. Okay.
Yeah. And come to think of it, the early 90s Lynn Swann, too. So maybe he could have helped more.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't 2018 Lynn Swann. It was the Lynn Swann I remember
1992.
from... Now, was Bob Costas and Lynn Swann, were they in the same booth together at some point calling football games?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Does
Was Lynn Swann calling the arm wrestling contest?
No, he was just laughing. I don't know.
That's a pretty great dream.
I should have somebody psychoanalyze. I mean, I should see a psychiatrist about that.
Absolutely.
I think it probably says a lot about me.
If we have any episode ever go viral, this is probably it.
I hope it is, and I hope somebody like, you know,
Lynn Swann and Bob Costas and the women's arm wrestling champion. This needs to happen
yeah,
in real life. I mean, I think you should wear clothes,
totally,
but
definitely.
I mean, everything else about that dream should happen.
I don't, and once again, I don't remember whether I was. I'm just saying, I'd say 2
It's
out of every
50-50?
3 dreams I am.
2/3.
Yeah, usually.
2/3 you're naked. Wow.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think it means that I'm proud of my figure. All right. What's your first thing?
So, did you happen to catch any premiere last Saturday, Sunday?
Briefly. I was pretty busy last weekend, so I didn't get a lot of it.
So, Newcastle, I was watching Newcastle play, and they had a first-time player start. Matthew Longstaff.
Matthew Stafford.
No,
Oh,
Matthew
Longstaff.
yeah.
That's a great name.
Well, here's the thing. So his brother also plays on the team. So it's like the third time ever in Newcastle history that they've had 2 brothers like play on the same team, and I think this was the first time ever that 2 brothers had started for Newcastle. And it was 0-0 pretty much a whole thing. And this kid's like 17, 18 years old. I mean, he's young.
Okay.
The younger one. And about 88 minutes into it, scored a goal.
Really?
Yeah. And it was, I mean, the crowd, it was at Newcastle.
Yeah.
The crowd erupts.
Do you know who they were playing?
Gosh, I can't remember, but
That's
it was
fine.
somebody significant. I mean, it wasn't a scrub, but it doesn't matter. But it was just great. And I'm just reminded how much I enjoy watching this. I was watching.
It's Chelsea.
Yeah,
No.
it was. No, it wasn't Chelsea.
that
It
was-
was. Can you
They
find
played
it?
Chelsea this week. That's what threw me off.
Well, they won 1-0.
Yeah.
Whoever they played. And so I was watching the NBA last night with my son Harrison, and it was preseason. It's Oklahoma City versus Dallas, something like that.
Yeah.
And every 3.5, 4 minutes, there's a commercial break or a timeout
Right.
or a pause.
Yeah.
And I am so spoiled now from watching soccer that there is no pause. There is no stop. There is no,
Yeah.
There's 45 minutes of play,
Yeah.
15-minute half, whatever it is.
Yep.
Another 45 minutes of play.
Yeah.
It's great.
I hear you. I
can't-
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I can't do this. I mean, I have such a hard time watching. Now, I still enjoy the NBA. I enjoy watching, baseball and football,
Honestly,
depending upon
football
what it
is
is.
the
But
hardest for me anymore.
I still like college football quite a bit.
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like it, but I know I haven't watched it.
Saturday night, we went to a friend's house, and we had a projector, big speaker. We did it outside. We had a bonfire going. And that was nice because, like, you get up around the bonfire, hit a marshmallow, you're coming back and forth, you're moving around, having a drink or two.
Yeah.
And it was different.
Yeah.
But, it's Ohio State football. I love Ohio State football. So,
Yeah, I've watched maybe 5 minutes of college football this year.
yeah.
I don't know. I just can't get into it. And I can't get enough. Like, honestly, if Alabama was playing Georgia on Saturday, but there was also like a Bundesliga game between like
2 randoms.
like Wolfsburg and Leipzig, I'd probably watch that.
Yeah. I upset Harrison on Sunday. I came downstairs. I slept in on Sunday, like considerably. I hadn't slept in that long in a long time. But I come downstairs around 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, and he's watching like ESPN, the pre-football stuff, whatever that's called, countdown to kickoff. And he was on his phone. He wasn't really watching it. He just had it on. I grabbed the remote. I flipped it over to NBC Sports, caught a couple soccer games.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, he left the room.
Yeah.
So it's still not hitting that younger generation yet, but hopefully it will.
You would think so.
My kids can't stand to watch soccer.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They enjoy playing it.
There is something about understanding it. Like once it clicks.
Yeah, well, for me, it didn't click until I started coaching it.
Yeah.
Until I started trying to figure out, how do you score? How do you stop them from scoring?
Yeah.
How do you move the ball around? And, I was coaching little kids, 10-year-olds, but still on that level, it seems like it should be super simple, and it's not.
No.
There's way more to it than what you realize.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Plus playing video games. I got locked into it playing video games.
Yeah,
so.
that helps too.
FIFA.
All right, well, my first thing is I have recently rediscovered playoff baseball. And this is, I guess I hate to do this, but it kind of combines my first thing and my second thing. I might be able to come up with a third thing. So
is this going to be one
we'll
and
see.
two?
This is kind of 1 and 2 for me, if that's acceptable.
Okay.
Now that I say it loud. First of all, rediscovered playoff baseball. There are 3 in the next, between today and tomorrow, there are 3 elimination games happening where the series is tied 2-2. Washington is playing L.A. right now, and then earlier the Cardinals beat the Braves, so the Cardinals are moving on.
Cardinals crushed the Braves.
13-1.
Yeah.
And then I really thought the Braves were going to win that. Billy Hamilton plays for the Braves now.
Does he really?
Yeah, I did not know that was happening.
I love Billy Hamilton.
So, and then tomorrow the Rays play the Astros, which is crazy that the Rays are pushing because I think the Astros might be the best team. So, anyway, it's great. When I get home tonight, I'm going to watch some of the L.A. Washington Nationals game. And I do, no matter how much I love soccer, and I will love it, I'm sure, for the rest of my life, and I think I'll grow an appreciation for it, it's hard for me to imagine that I'll ever completely forsake baseball. I can see myself being done with football, but baseball, there's just something about it. And once it's the playoffs, everything amps up a little bit more, and everybody tries a little bit harder, and it's just a lot of fun. So I have rediscovered my love for playoff baseball.
I love baseball, but it's been so long since my Reds have been in it.
I know. That's what's hard to stay connected. But once the playoffs start, you kind of start picking a couple of teams.
Well, the last couple of years, the Indians have been in it, and so my house is half Indians fans.
Right.
So last couple of years have been into it.
Yeah.
This year, not so much.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple teams that I kind of like more than others. I was kind of rooting for the Braves. They were kind of a fun team. The Nationals are a lot of fun. So I don't know. Well, I like the fact that the Nationals got rid of Bryce Harper and then they might win. I think that would be a great story. Win the World Series after you get rid of Bryce Harper. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I've been loving baseball. And one of my loves, or one of the ways that I've been able to watch it, is my number 2 thing. So I have had a TV in my bedroom. It was, it's like a 22-inch TV.
Yeah.
I don't know, 20-something-inch TV. And mounted on the wall. And I don't know. I've been reading more, and it's just so easy to turn that thing on. I just thought, I want to get rid of the TV out of my bedroom. So I mounted it in my kitchen.
Okay.
So now I have a TV in my kitchen for the first time in my life.
Well, your kitchen basically opens up to a living room, and you have a ginormous TV in your living room.
Yeah, but I can't see it while I'm cooking.
It's literally you step 2 feet to the left, and you can see
I got to
it.
look through the doorway. But while I'm cooking and preparing stuff, and at the stove and doing all that stuff, I can't see the TV. And plus, the kids want to watch whatever they want to watch. So I've been watching baseball. Every night when I've been cooking dinner, I've been watching baseball on TV, and it's great. It's a great thing to kind of have on in the background.
I got you, yeah.
And I think moving the TV into the kitchen has been a really good thing for me. I really enjoy it. It puts me in the kitchen more. It makes me more apt to clean up afterwards, because sometimes after dinner's over, I'm like, I don't really feel. We'll just do it later or whatever. But now it's the TV's there, turn the game on, get the dishes done. It's a good thing. I would encourage anyone to take your TV out of your bedroom if you have one and put one in your kitchen. I think it's
Well, that's not going to happen for us.
Yeah.
I need my TV to sleep.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem. You should really think about that. I've been doing some studies, or I've been reading some studies about the damaging effects of having screens on while you're sleeping.
Oh, I do it every night.
Well, I know you do, but I'm saying
I don't have crazy dreams where I'm naked with Bob
you
Costas.
might get deeper. Listen, once again, never definitively. I'm just saying it wasn't a major factor in the dream, but it happened so often in my dreams that it might have gone unnoticed. But
I mean, of the two
from
of
what
us,
I understand,
I think
you'll
my
sleep
dreams
into
are better.
REM sleep better and faster and deeper than if
Listen, I can start Return of the Jedi and be asleep before they're in the pit.
Well, trust me,
It's
insane.
pretty quick.
I once tried to watch The Wrath of Khan.
The
for
new one or the old one?
The old one.
Okay.
For I don't know, like a month. And I only ever got 5 minutes into it. I would turn it on every night, be like, I'm going to watch it tonight. And then I fell asleep
Have you ever seen the movie Dune?
Oh, man, that movie is rough.
It is rough. That one puts me to sleep right
it's
away.
a sleepy movie.
Yeah.
I think they're making another one.
Probably.
Yeah.
The first one was so bad. Jean-Luc Picard's in it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Duncan, Idaho. What a great name, huh?
It's just like two random words smashed together.
Duncan, Idaho. I listened to that book when I was...
Is it a better book than movie?
It's a really popular book. In
Okay.
fact, there's like 10 of them. It's like a whole
I didn't know,
space odyssey.
Listen, the opening scene of that movie where they're talking about the spice on the planet and all this other stuff,
Melange.
I'm like, I really want to like this.
Star Trek ripped some stuff off from them, by the way.
Did they really?
With the spice. Like, I'm watching like the latest stuff that, I'm like, wait a minute, that's from
Wait a
Dune.
second.
So, whatever. I'm excited about the new Dune stuff because I feel like the technology might have caught up.
when is this? What is it?
I think
Like
it
Amazon?
It might be like a TV. I'm hoping it's a TV series because, like I said, there's like 10 books.
Like
So-
network TV? Or are we
yeah,
talking like Netflix?
Game of Thrones kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that it'll be really good because the story is really great. It's a pretty famous series of books.
Well,
So
that movie puts me out
I could see that
right away.
I could see that.
A couple movies like that.
Star Trek puts me out. Just even Star Trek Next Generation, that puts me out
listen.
really fast too.
I got a Netflix suggestion coming up a little bit later.
What? We might have our first Netflix suggestion
Of the same?
crossover.
Did you put yours on the list?
No,
You didn't.
I didn't.
Well, mine's on the list. So this could be crazy. Okay, we'll hold off on that.
I'll try to.
Second thing.
Yes.
In line with soccer, I was watching Tottenham Saturday.
Tottenham.
Texted you about
Yes, I know.
8 minutes into the game.
I was at Levi's soccer game in Upper Sandusky.
I actually was watching it not live. It was recorded. Mm-hmm. Couple, delayed or whatever. And 2 minutes into the game, Hugo Lloris absolutely
breaks his arm.
And it was ugly. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I didn't have the heart to go back and
He
look at it.
jumps up with two hands, actually catches the ball, but then loses the ball a little bit. As he's falling backwards, he reaches his left arm down to catch himself,
Yeah.
and the thing buckled.
Just snap.
And instantly, I saw it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh gosh, that was, it looked, and he had long sleeves on, so you didn't see
Sure.
skin or anything,
Thank
but
goodness.
and he hit the ground.
Yeah.
And the commentators didn't catch it right away. They're like, oh, he's claiming for a foul.
Yeah.
No, the dude's in major
Yeah.
pain.
You can tell when the other players are calling for
Yes, they're all waving him over.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of a scary moment. But, in relation to that, I was watching. It was a football game the other night. I don't know what it was. It was Pittsburgh versus Baltimore.
Yeah.
And the Pittsburgh quarterback, the guy from Oklahoma State, doesn't matter what his name is, someone planted their head on his chin. The dude passes out cold as he's falling down.
Yeah.
Hits.
And you can see it.
Oh, you could see it. He bounces off the ground and is just limp, doesn't move
Yeah.
for a couple minutes.
That's scary.
And instantly, everybody's waving him over and stuff like this. And I'm like, man, I was trying to explain to my kids, because I was watching it with Harrison. Like, this is just so dangerous, dude. You know,
It's getting more dangerous.
it's getting more dangerous. Well, technology's getting to the point where like there are human weapons out there wearing these helmets and pads. They don't get hurt when they lay the
feel
hit.
invincible.
They feel invincible.
And they're also stronger and faster than they've ever been.
Yeah,
before.
I'm convinced the way to fix professional and even college football, put leather helmets on them.
Yeah. Just go the route of rugby.
Rugby, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, it could still be tackle football, but you're not spearing anybody with a leather helmet.
There's this back of your mind sense like, we can be rough, but there's a level at which we got to be done.
I think this needs to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's my second thing. I mean, just major injuries in sports right now. Those two things, getting passed out cold. And I mean, obviously, football's more dangerous than soccer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're both have potential for injuries.
Yeah.
But that arm break, ugh.
I feel like the safest sport to play is
Baseball? Basketball? Basketball, you're going to turn an ankle, something like that.
And
But
there have been some pretty nasty. The Louisville one.
that was a freak accident.
Yeah, that was a
His
freak
leg
one.
went right through the skin.
Yeah, I've seen some. That was the worst. I've seen some pretty bad basketball ones too. Basketball can be I guess golf. Obviously, nobody gets injured on the golf course, do they?
I almost got injured on a golf course.
But
some beer was involved too. So.
Well, sure, they get injured, but it's more like wear and tear. Like
yes,
tendonitis.
But is golf even a
things
sport?
Like that. Is golf a sport? Yeah, golf is a sport.
Darts could get really scary.
Yeah, I feel like they could amp up the dart game a little bit. Don't you think? Raise the stakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Make you do the, what's the word? What's the thing when you put the apple on your head?
Yeah. I don't know.
That?
I don't know what that's called.
There's a name. It's like a person's name. I wanted to say Johnny Appleseed, but it's not Johnny Appleseed.
No, he planted the apples.
That's a myth, but
it's not a myth. It's a song.
What is that? William Tell. I got it.
Is
William
that what it's?
Tell.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, when you put an apple on your head and try to shoot it off.
Would your wife let you throw darts at her with an apple on her head from 3 feet away?
No.
2 feet away?
No.
1 foot away?
No. Not even from an inch away, and I could just stab it. She wouldn't let it happen. If you had to pick one person in between baseball, basketball, football to stand 10 feet away from you to throw a dart at your face while you have an apple on your head, and you got to pick one person and one of those three sports.
Greg Maddux.
But he doesn't current. Oh. And he doesn't.
Greg Maddux is the obvious answer
here's
here,
the thing,
right?
They don't have any practice. There's no practice. They just step up to it and just grab it and go.
I would not want J.R. Smith.
No.
That would be on the
list.
list.
Could be great, but also...
Well, see, that's the thing. He's either like dead on or he is off.
Right, yeah.
And you can't afford that.
I feel like a pitcher, quarterback...
Well, listen, Greg Maddux is the obvious answer.
Stephen Curry? He's got great hand-eye coordination.
That is true.
He's a good golfer, too. So...
He would be a good one.
Multi-sports.
But he's not a baseball player.
No.
I feel like a pitcher would be...
My first reaction was Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's got the experience. He's been in high-pressure situations. He's a quarterback, so he's got that hand-to-eye throwing.
See, I think you'd want someone really, really short because when they're throwing it up, like at an angle.
You think that's better?
Here's the thing. If you're Ben Roethlisberger and you're 6'8" and you're throwing it down at your face, I feel like if you miss, you're going to miss down.
Sure.
I think
Tom
you want to be
a tall fella.
Yeah, see, I think you want to go someone short. No, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. That might be good. Drew Brees is a good one.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like super short.
Yeah.
But he's short. He's like eye level with you.
Okay, next question. Same situation, actor in Hollywood. No, Marvel actor.
Oops, very, very specific.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, if you go the short route.
Mm-hmm. And not their character, because then you pick Arrow or what's his name? Hawkeye. Not the character, the actor.
Okay.
I feel like
in the
Paul
Marvel
Rudd's
world,
not serious enough.
No, Paul Rudd would drill you in the eye.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Chris Pratt might be an athlete.
Well, he was really, really chubby, right? And then he got
Yeah.
ripped. Mm-hmm. So it shows that, he's working on himself.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
He was a wrestler in high school. I know that.
but he was pretty chubby.
Yeah, he was.
I'd want someone who would care about themselves, but not overly so.
Right.
Not someone who just lets himself go. Because if they don't care about themselves, they don't care about you.
Sure.
You follow?
Yeah.
Someone who, just in general, they love people.
Yeah.
I don't want someone who hates people throwing an arrow at my head.
Okay. Well, who you got?
I don't know. See, when you limit it to the Marvel world,
All right. We'll open it up to all
George
actors.
Clooney.
George Clooney.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. Because, listen, I trust George Clooney.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I was going straight for the George Clooney until you said Marvel.
Okay. So George Clooney is
He's throwing an arrow at my head. A
all,
dart.
What about all time? You could pick any actor in their prime. For me, it's easy.
Dick Van Dyke.
Steve McQueen. No, not Steve McQueen. Paul Newman for me.
Oh, yeah.
Cool Hand Luke era, Paul Newman. Cool, collected, he's got it.
I think Dick Van Dyke could do it.
Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
He was constantly drunk.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good.
No, he's very loose. Very
that's
loose.
No, you don't want a drunk guy throwing a dart at your face.
Have you seen him in Mary Poppins? He's drunk half the time.
Okay.
But he's bouncing around, hitting drums and spinning circles and very limber.
All right.
Very loose.
One more. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to say this one at the same time because it's very obvious.
Okay.
I'm very sure. President.
Wait, listen, I got to think about this.
Okay.
Because you were already thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about
the
it.
moment I thought president, I thought there's one obvious choice. This is in all history during their presidency.
Okay, one president in their prime
In their prime.
to throw a dart at your head,
face.
at an apple.
They at the apple.
Not at your face.
Well, hopefully not. Yeah, but it is above your face.
Okay, just give me a minute. Holy cow.
I just thought it was so obvious. So ready?
I'm still thinking. Hold on.
Still thinking?
Okay, I'm
Ready?
ready. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say it.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Barack
Martin
Obama.
Van Buren. What?
Barack Obama.
Martin Van Buren. It's not even close.
Hello.
Why would you say Barack Obama?
I think it's pretty obvious.
Hand-eye coordination?
Yes, hand-eye coordination. He played basketball.
He was an athlete,
Yes.
but so was Gerald Ford.
Football.
Yeah. He was like an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I
Barack
don't
Obama. Listen, I don't agree with his politics,
Sure.
but hand-eye coordination, he might be the best.
Right.
Maybe Ronald Reagan,
Well,
actor.
Ronald Reagan's not a bad choice, but it's Martin Van Buren, then it's everybody else.
Why Martin Van Buren?
MVB? Are you kidding me? Why are we even having this discussion?
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like polio or something?
Everybody did back then. It was like the common cold today.
Okay, that was my second thing. I don't even know what it was.
It doesn't
Getting
matter.
injured in sports.
Injured in sports. All right. My second thing was that I put a TV in my kitchen, and it's glorious. And
Okay.
I love it, and I'll never turn back. My third thing, and final thing for me, I dropped my son off at soccer practice the other day.
Yeah, and we were behind you.
But he was that wasn't that day. It was
Okay.
another day. But he was only going to be there for an hour because he had to go to work, so he had to leave practice early. So I thought, I don't want to drive back and forth. I'll
Yeah.
just stay there.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get 10,000 steps in a day. I've been coming pretty close. Doing
About 5 miles?
pretty good. That's about 5 miles.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what? I'll just drop him off. I'll walk the track
Yes.
the whole time.
I've done that, yeah.
And then I'll go pick
Yeah.
him up. So I get on the track. My first concern is if there's anybody out there, like if they're doing any kind of practice, I'm not going to walk the track. I'll just go walk somewhere else.
Right.
Because I don't want that's awkward. And so I pull up, doesn't look like there's anybody there. So I walk out, and on the other side of the track, there's a lady, older lady, walking the track too, but she's all the way on the other side. So
Yes.
obviously I'm not going to walk the opposite way
Yes.
as her because I don't do that awkward. eye contact, passing you.
Listen, I
every
know where you're
single
going with
lap.
this already because I've been in the same shoes.
So I thought, well, the timing is pretty good because she's all the way on the opposite
Yes.
side. So I'll get right on, you know.
Yes.
But she's older and doesn't look like she's like really, really hoofing it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So I thought, you know what? I'm going to walk on the outside of the track.
Right.
Because what I didn't want to do is catch up with her.
Yes.
And then I'm in that awkward, like, do I pass you? Do I stay right beside
Oh, yeah,
you?
yeah.
And then I have to, like, walk awkwardly fast just to, like, then get by you. And that's a whole thing that I just don't want to deal with. So I thought, you know what? She's older lady, walking kind of slow. If I walk on the outside of the track, because I'm walking for exercise here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Then I'll go a little bit further. I'll have to travel further, and I won't catch up with her. Makes sense, right? So I do that. I do a couple laps, and then I check my progress. I kind of look over to see where she's at. She's catching up on me.
Oh, gosh.
She's making up ground. So I thought, you know what? I'll just go to the inside track. It'll course correct this situation.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, older lady does not look like she's walking very fast. So I get on the inside track, keep my pace that I'm going, do a couple laps, check my progress again. She caught up with me a little bit more.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
thought, what the heck is happening
Yeah.
here? So I'm after it. You know what I mean? Like I'm really like I'm power walking.
Yeah.
You know, and every single lap I'm thinking, okay, if I could gain, 50. The last thing I need is her catching up with me.
Right.
If I could gain like I don't know, maybe 25, 30 yards on her, and make up the distance, so she's not catching up with me anymore. And 2 or 3 laps of me on the inside track going as fast as I can, I'm not making up any difference. And so now I'm really kicking it into high gear. And then I get a better look at her, and I look over, and she's all the way on the outside too. It was really a disturbing thing. And in the middle of it, I really had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't want to because at this point, I'm committed. I'm like, I want to prove to myself that I can outwalk this old lady,
Yeah.
And I did. Eventually, I kicked into high gear, and I started catching up with her. And, I didn't pass her or catch up with her, but I made up the distance. And then every lap, I started making up a little bit more and more distance. It was disturbing. I have short legs. I know this to be true. I take more steps than the normal person takes. But I think that I'm a slow walker. I think that must mean that because I thought I was walking really fast, but I wasn't walking really fast. And it was, a bit awkward.
See, I thought where you're going with this because I've done the same thing. Hopped on the track while Stella's in band, and old lady on the track, but I catch up with her, and then it is the awkward thing.
Yeah. What do? Do you pass? Do you go slower than you want
Well,
to go?
here's what the awkward thing last time I did this was the lady in front of me, and it was the same situation. We started almost exactly opposite of each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I might not catch her,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to catch her.
You're just walking.
I'm just walking. Mm-hmm. The closer I got, I noticed she kept on like kind of looking back, just glancing, and I think she thought I was like stalking her or
Sure.
something.
Yeah, you're going to take her
And so the
purse,
closer I got, the faster she got.
which means you have to get faster
Just to
if you're going to actually pass her, or you're just going to hang
and then,
awkwardly.
then I'm just going to awkwardly hang like 100 yards behind her.
Yeah.
And it was weird. And then the closer I got, and then finally, like at the last, she looked over, and I was probably 75 yards, and she just hopped off the track and like took off. I'm like, it was
You should have
weird.
bolted after her just to mess with her. You know what I mean?
I felt awkward and
Yeah.
weird. It just, what do I do?
It is an awkward situation.
Now, if there's like 6 people on the track, it's like, listen, we're all walking. Mm-hmm. 2
Yeah.
people on the track, a lot more awkward.
I agree. 2 people is super awkward.
Yeah.
Every single person makes it like 30% less awkward.
And I feel like you have to go around, counterclockwise.
Yeah, you go around. Is it counterclockwise?
Yeah, it's this way, right?
Yeah. You have to
You
go
can't
around.
reverse it.
No, a psychotic person.
Then
would
you're
do
passing them twice every
that.
lap.
And then, hey, that's you again, huh?
Do you make eye contact? Do you not look? Do you not
What do you
talk?
mean? You're passing them twice every lap?
Yeah, I mean, you once and then twice. Once and then twice. At the top and the bottom of the track. You'd pass them twice.
Yeah, I guess you would, wouldn't you?
That's why I did well in algebra.
I did not.
Yeah,
I also didn't do my homework.
that is true.
Yeah, it's also that thing where you're walking, even if it's on a track, where you're walking like on the street or whatever, behind somebody, and you want to walk faster than them,
Yeah.
but they're not walking so slow that you can just pass them easily. So you have to like speed up,
Yes.
and kind of like walk comically fast just to get by them.
comically fast or aggressively fast.
Yeah, and it's just like you're just doing that, kind of power walking thing just to get by them, and then you can go back to your regular speed. Yeah. You know what's also great is being at the airport and walking on the whatever those things are. Yeah. Those
like
are
the luggage rack for
I
people.
feel so fast.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
They have those in Las Vegas for like long stretches between things. It is pretty
Anybody that stands on those should be drug out into the street and hit over the head with a snow shovel.
Well, I feel like with everything else in the world, there needs to be etiquette for things like this.
Yeah.
If you want to stand on the right-hand side,
Yeah.
if it's a double-wide path, that's
a
cool.
double wide pass. Some of them are not. Some of them you couldn't quite get by if you were.
I feel like
pulling a big,
lazy people
Yeah.
are going to get on it so they don't have to walk.
Yeah. I don't
But
like
they're
that.
actually meant to help speed up the progress.
The point of them is to walk on them, not to stand on
I
them.
totally 100% agree.
Now, how do you feel about escalators? Do you walk up an escalator or do you stand at the escalator?
If there's nobody ahead of me,
Yes.
I walk up.
But it is socially acceptable to stand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I
agree.
think it's awkward. I mean, it's an elevation change.
Yeah.
But if there's obviously people on the escalator, I'm not passing them.
Right. Unless
Right?
you have to go to the bathroom or something.
Or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, that's my third thing.
Really?
I posted this on Facebook, although you would not see it because you're never on Facebook, but I posted this on the Lower Road radio site.
Okay.
They uncovered the largest fossilized human turd in history.
Didn't you tag me in this?
I did tag you in this.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Caminetti hopped
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't wait to listen to the show.
Oh.
Based
geez.
on this one post.
So we have to talk about it.
I feel like I have to talk about it. It actually wasn't one of my 3 and 3.
What was the size of it?
Well, see, that's the thing. It's pretty good size. It's pretty good size. So, I mean, so this is fossilized. So I feel like over time it's going to
Shrink,
right? It's going to lose moisture.
How do they know it's human?
Well, so it was 8 inches long by 2 inches in diameter.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday.
Yeah, but you're not leaving fossilized Tuesday turds everywhere either.
I guess.
I mean, this is a pretty big thing.
8 inches? That's disappointing. I just saw the picture, but I saw no scale. I thought it was like 2 feet long.
So it was a Viking that left this turd.
Uh-huh.
So you're thinking like these Vikings are like laying them out.
Well, it specifically said largest ever.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting something large.
How many fossilized
Not a
turds?
rando.
How many fossilized turds do you think that they uncover?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm imagining this is like the third one ever.
I assume it's hard to tell between that and a rock. This is not like a trilobite where it's got like a, specific
saber-toothed tiger
pattern or shape,
That is true. Listen, the truth is I haven't
How
given
does something become fossilized? It has to not decompose before
it
the asteroid hit? Is that what it is?
The Viking, no.
The flood?
No.
It gets covered.
It gets covered.
And air can't get to it.
And it hardens and becomes like a rock.
Okay.
So it does lose moisture. So my guess is if it was 8 inches by 2 inches, I think it easily could have been maybe 12 by 3 or 4. I mean, the size of a shoe.
All right.
Like a low top shoe, not a high top shoe.
Oh, of
obviously.
course, yeah. I mean, it's not
like a low top shoe.
Right.
Well, it's still moist. Pre the drying out process. Because once it dries out, it's going to lose some circumference and diameter. And
I can only assume. I don't know. I've never come across a fossilized.
I think anything that dries up shrinks up. Like think about a leaf. As a leaf on a tree, it's green, it expands, it's big, it falls off the tree, it starts to shrink over time. It loses moisture.
Yeah.
So as the turd loses moisture, it's going to shrink.
Do you ever on a walk go out of your way just to step on a squirrel to hear the crunch?
A squirrel? I've never have I ever walked off the path to step on a squirrel.
Just to hear that crunch.
You mean a leaf?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Go chasing after squirrels and stomping them.
I don't think I told this story. So I'm walking. Did you know? And this is not about stepping on a squirrel, but it does have to do with the squirrel. So there's a path close to our kids' school. Did you know this? There's a nature path.
Yes.
Have you walked it before?
No.
Okay.
I was driving behind you and you pulled into it.
Okay,
You
so-
flipped me off, by the way. I had explained to my kids why my brother is flipping me off.
I wouldn't flip you off.
Well, listen, I saw that it was the fourth finger.
Yeah, my ring finger.
Your ring finger.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was showing you. Yeah, I'm married, Jason.
I saw the ring finger. My kids didn't. Why is Uncle Dan flipping us off? Listen, that's not the middle finger. It's
the ring finger. I got in big trouble for that when I was a kid, and you're the one that told on me. Flipping people off at the pool with my ring finger. I thought it was.
Listen, it's safe. It's not the middle finger.
I could not have been more surprised when I got into trouble about that. And I'm honest. Like,
Yeah.
I remember you went home, of course, and told Mom immediately that I was doing that at the pool.
Yeah.
And I got in big trouble.
'Cause it's inappropriate.
I was flabbergasted. I could not have been more surprised. I was like, no.
You don't
You
understand.
don't understand here. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry.
It wasn't
You don't-
the middle finger.
Somehow I'm not communicating this correctly to you because I would never flip people off at the, I would never do that. It was my ring finger. And I still got in trouble for it. And I remember sitting in my bed that night after I gotten whooped
Yes.
and thinking, what happened?
See, that's something my son Gideon would do.
Yeah.
Like, just, completely hacked off. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
I don't understand. It was my
It's
ring
my
finger.
ring finger. It wasn't even the middle finger.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going for a walk in this little. It's a
Yes.
little wooded area.
Uh-huh.
A nice little path. And I picked up, like a walnut when it's green before it cracks and
Yes.
stuff. It's like a big one's like the size of like a tennis ball.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking, I'm just kind of like throwing it up in the air to myself, back and forth. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, whatever. I have ADD, I think.
Yes.
And so I need something to keep my attention.
You think I know.
And so I'm just walking. We're just walking along this path. And as we're walking along this path, a squirrel like runs across the path. And I don't think about it. I don't like.
You threw it at it.
I don't think that. You know what would be a great idea? It could not have been more like caveman instinct. I just chucked this walnut the size of a tennis ball at the squirrel, and it was a good 40 feet away. I mean,
Yeah.
it was not a long. It was not a short throw.
Right.
And it went. And it was like through the bushes and stuff. I want to kill the squirrel with a walnut at Pleasant Park.
Were you with your wife?
Yeah.
And what did she say?
She's like, "What the heck was that?" I don't know.
It just came over me.
It didn't think about it. It wasn't premeditated. If I went to court for squirrel murder, it would be like what are they? There's like 3 levels. Like it'd be second degree murder.
Yes.
Third
It wasn't
degree.
premeditated.
Yeah, third degree is premeditated. It was not premeditated. It'd be second degree squirrel murder. I felt bad about it. I really did, and I was really glad that there was nobody else.
Yeah.
Like randomly walking because there are other people on the path, but not at that.
Had
spot.
it been a dog, would you have thrown it at the dog?
No, I don't think so.
So at what line does it become appropriate to throw a walnut at
I mean,
a
a
squirrel or an
squirrel
animal?
is a rat with a big tail. You know what I mean? They're not, and they're not like endangered or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. A bino squirrel, possibly.
Yeah. So I felt really bad, but equally kind of proud because it was a heck of a
Listen,
shot.
I'm with you.
I mean, it was like
Yeah.
it was a bullet through like a little like bush. You know what I mean? And a squirrel was while it was moving. Like there were a lot of elements happening
Yeah.
at the same time, and it was like. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Yeah.
That's a bad day for you.
Yeah, it was not a good thing. Not a good thing. All right, what's your third thing? Or was that your third thing?
The fossilized poop.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I know Joe likes potty humor. He wants to start a podcast about pooping called what did he want to call it? The Poopcast.
No, you and I have talked about this.
Yeah, but then he said every episode should be episode number 2.
I still think there's a future in the Poopcast.
Yeah, maybe.
We're just out of time.
Yeah,
I don't have any more time in my life.
maybe.
If someone wants to sponsor the Poopcast, we will gladly do a poopcast. We'll interview people
I mean,
about their
there's
best
a specific
or most
number
embarrassing
I'm
poop.
thinking about in my head that I need in order to make this happen. But yeah,
$100 a month
no, I need more than $100 a month to make
to do a poopcast. I'd do it for $100 a month.
I need more than $100 a month for this. I
100
think.
each.
You were thinking we'd split the 100?
Yeah, why not?
What are we baling hay on a random Saturday? Oh, my goodness. All
So,
right.
do you have a number 3?
No, well, my number 3 was the walking at Pleasant because 1 and
Oh.
2 were the same thing.
Okay.
So there it is. But I also had a Bob Costas dream. That's part of my,
Yes.
I'm bringing a lot to the table tonight.
There was a lot there.
So what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
So if this is doubled up, I'm going to be amazed, surprised.
Well, it would
whatever.
be shocking because it might slightly double up, but I don't think it'll
Okay.
exactly double
Star
up.
Trek original series.
Okay.
Is it doubled up?
No,
Okay, so it's on Netflix.
it is.
And
I think
there's, like-
all of the Star Trek series are on Netflix.
Possibly, I don't know.
I think they are.
Not the new CBS one,
No.
but all the old ones.
Yeah.
Original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager.
Voyager and Enterprise.
Yeah. So there's like 3 seasons of it, and it's just solid TV. It's great background. You just turn it on, you're doing some stuff.
I've wanted to get into it. I've tried for some reason.
I like it.
I know it's good, or in a lot of ways it's good. In a lot of ways,
Listen, they pioneered so much of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Even modern technology, some of the stuff that they're doing is like we're just doing that stuff today in real life.
yeah, and they're the ones that thought, wouldn't it be cool if in the future they could do this?
Yeah,
and now
like,
we can do it.
They had Bluetooth before Bluetooth was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just tons of stuff.
yeah. They had iPads.
They did have iPads. They had all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for the hand lasers.
The hand lasers?
Like set, stun, kill.
There's a great episode
Phasers.
of King of Queens. You ever watch King of Queens?
Yeah.
Where
I hope I don't lose too much weight because I have
yeah, right.
a fat guy's face.
They would often do like imagination sequences where he would be thinking and it would be
Yes.
like his imagination. And there was this one imagination sequence in which it was like, what if 10 years from now this happens or whatever, you know what I mean? And so then he's imagining this conversation between him and his wife, this argument that they're having, same argument 10 years later. And everything in the scene in their house looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as he's arguing, he's mad and he's like, complaining and stuff. And he goes outside and he slams the door and then he puts on a jetpack and flies away.
Yeah.
And it's such a smart little, like,
Yes.
to keep everything the same, but in his mind in the future, 10 years from now,
Jetpack.
he'll be flying on a jetpack. I always enjoyed that little detail. That was very nice.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, Star Trek Next Generation, or not Next Generation. Next Generation is great.
Original series is your.
I'm talking
Netflix.
original series.
Really? Huh.
And it's great to rediscover it.
Yeah, it's smart in a lot of ways.
It really is.
The plot is. Yeah.
Well,
it
again,
can be a bit silly.
they
when,
pioneered
like,
a lot of that
Uhura's
stuff.
like singing in 10 Forward.
Listen,
And like Sulu is playing some sort of weird instrument. I mean, there's some odd scenes.
I'm not saying it's perfect. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's pretty good, though.
Okay. My Netflix suggestion, and this is just because it's what I've been watching, which essentially is the Netflix suggestion of the week. My wife and I decided we are going to, for reals, watch all of the Next Generation. Not like have it on, not like fall
sit
asleep
through.
to it. Like if we fall asleep to it, we go back and start it the last place we can remember it.
Okay.
So we've been doing this for the last week. We're at like episode 4 because
Season 1.
yeah, season
Okay.
1 because it's we've fallen asleep a couple
Encounter
times.
at Farpoint. First 2.
Is the first, yeah. So my official suggestion is episode 3 is
What's the...
awful. I mean,
Really?
it is.
Yeah.
It is so silly. It's called Code of Honor. So it's that episode where they go down to this planet, and the guy, they're all like, it looks like an African tribe, and the guy wants to take what's her name? The security chief that then dies later in Worf.
Natasha Yar.
Yeah, he wants to take her as his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And then she has to fight
Yeah.
this other lady for the right of it.
I like that one.
It
yeah.
is so silly and stupid, and he is this like really goofy looking, like just the whole thing is so silly. You know what I mean?
The thing that I can't get past about Next Generation is it feels like a lot of these alien planets are stuck in the late 1980s,
It does seem
early
like that,
1990s.
doesn't it? Yeah.
The clothing, the hair.
Well, the funniest part about this episode is, it's so stupid. So, like, Natasha is, captured, and then this guy wants to make her his queen,
Of all the people, Natasha Yar
No.
is not the. Come on.
Wait a minute. We're going to do another 3, 2, 1. And I swear, if you don't say, I'm going to rip the cord out of the the thing.
The mic, yeah.
Of the regulars and Next Generation, the one that you would take as your queen.
Yes.
3,
This is easy.
2, 1.
Beverly Crusher.
Thank you.
Listen, most people, the obvious for most people would be Deanna Troy.
No,
It
I
is
don't
not.
need her reading my brain. So I don't need that. So he wants to take Yar as his wife.
You just calling her Yar now?
Yeah. And
Natasha Yar.
Yar. And he wants to take
Yar.
her as his queen or whatever. And now Captain Picard and Riker and these guys are on a mission to save her from this predicament. Which, by the way, this planet not very technologically advanced.
Yeah.
I mean, just pull out your phasers and point them at the guys and
Yeah.
say, we're going to shoot you in the face
Yeah.
if you don't give us her. Seemed like a pretty quick fix to me.
Yeah.
But they made it a little bit more difficult.
Well, I don't understand. Just set everything to stun. Stun everybody.
Just knock him out. Go back to the room. Pick her up.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Why can't they just transport her?
There might have been some reason. I don't know. They didn't. I think it partially had to do with the.
Transporter was down?
No. The what's the thing where you can't travel back in time? You can't change history. There's like a rule.
Yeah.
That you can't go to a planet and change their culture. It's the you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Well, I think Prime Directive. I think it might have had something to do with Prime Directive because it was a
Did
planet.
they kind of use transportation?
I don't know.
How'd they get down to the planet?
I don't know. It's silly.
Shuttle?
It's very silly. So, but here's my favorite part of the episode. So Deanna Troy is talking to Captain Picard, and when she's talking to him, she's like, "Well, he is the epitome of a man." You know what I mean? Because he's very macho
Right.
or whatever. Maybe Yar would like this life. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what she wants. And Picard's like, you know what I mean? And then they kind of like ask Natasha about it, and it's this silly backwards guy. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, what do you think? And she's like, she kind of guffaws at it, right? And she's kind of like, what? She's like, well, of course I'm attracted to him, but I don't want to marry him. And I was like, what a stupid thing to say! Like, what a stupid little addition to that.
Well, I mean, of course I'm
Well, of
attracted
course I'm
to him.
attracted to him. I'm a woman, for goodness sake.
No, the thing that kills me about it is Deanna Troy can read minds, and yet doesn't know what anybody's thinking.
Yeah, often does not know what people are
Or
thinking.
when it's super obvious, like this alien race is pissed off, completely hacked off at them. I feel tension.
Yeah.
I feel there's a lot of tension.
There's a lot of inconsistencies with how they use her powers. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Because sometimes it's like, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Guys, Deanna could fix this easy. Like, nobody believes. There's like a guy.
Yeah.
There's like, nobody believes Barkley or something.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And nobody knows whether to trust him. I'm like, Deanna, bring her in here. She
Come
can
on.
take care of this.
Like 3 minutes.
We
That's
can
all
have
it's going to
this
take.
wrapped up
Yeah.
real quick, So there are a few inconsistencies with how they use technology too. I feel like they could make better use of the transporter, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why don't, like, if they come across somebody that's like sick or like dying or just, why does the doctor always have to like come down an elevator to them? Why don't you just transport that person straight to sick bay or transfer the doctor to them? Like, that doesn't happen very often.
Oh, like intership transportation.
Why can't they do that?
Yeah. That makes a
course.
lot of sense.
If you're the captain, why are you ever walking anywhere? Right? You just said transport.
He's trying to get his 10,000 steps in.
Maybe, but I'm just saying. I think they could make better use.
You ever
of
seen
it.
the movie WALL-E?
I love the movie WALL-E.
Well, in the future, humans don't ever walk anywhere, and they're 800 pounds, and they're sitting on little hover carts.
It's a glorious future, don't you think?
Well, see, that's where the Enterprise got it right. Listen, we're not going to use this technology to make us large and fat.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
love
get our
Star
10,000
Trek,
steps
but
in.
I also don't believe in their worldview. So I will say that
It's a intergalactic view, not a world
yeah,
view.
the problem is that they have a sense that the world is getting better, that people are getting better.
Oh, I think
that
so.
we'll get to a
Yeah.
place
We're evolving.
that we're evolving to a place where there'll be no more war, no need for money, no need for
Well,
any
I
of that
think
stuff.
ultimately that is where we're heading.
You think so?
Not in a biblical sense. I'm just talking about like evolution of man.
Doesn't
At
seem
one
like we're
point,
getting better.
look, we had clubs and we're knocking women over the head, dragging them back to the cave. That's obviously what was happening. Not anymore. Now you have to like buy her dinner. So like it evolves
Explain
from
to
there.
me how that's better.
Well, I mean, better for her. I mean,
Okay.
at least she gets a meal out of it.
Okay. Well,
Not just dragging her
she
back
might-
as
she
like
might
you're
have
my
been-
queen now.
she
Knock
might
her
have
over the
been-
head with a club, drag her back to the cave.
Is that not how you
You're
met
mine.
your wife?
Yes, that is how I met my wife.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. We're trying to evolve past this
Oh, I
stuff.
see. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, somebody call Bob Costas,
Uh-huh.
Tell
Lynn
him to
Swann,
listen to-
or
Lynn Swann.
contact the women's
Federation of Arm Wrestling
champion.
Yeah.
And let's make this happen. We make dreams come true.
This is an ESPN Plus segment, right?
Yeah. Well, I think this should be on Ocho when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this should be an Ocho thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, the Dodgers are winning 3-0 in the bottom of the third. I'm going to
Nobody
go
cares.
home into my
Nobody
kitchen
cares.
and cut up an avocado. I don't know. I'm not even hungry. After that McDouble, I feel sick, to be honest with you.
Well, that was
Oh, there was
last
another
week when we
episode.
recorded, yeah.
Yeah, so for a week I've been sick. It really stuck with me. Should we cut that part out?
Yeah, just cut
Okay,
that part
all
out
right.
entirely.
All right, well, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.